Welcome back to VT. It is 7:16 on this Tuesday morning. Ontario is pressing pause on plans to ease restrictions on social gatherings after a recent uptick in COVID-19 cases.
There is a concern about people creating groups that are too large. So it is something that will be coming forward, but it has been pushed back. We'll have to wait to see the numbers come down first before we implement it.
Provincial officials say Mother's Day gatherings led to a spike. In wake of this, anyone who packed that Toronto park over the weekend is being asked to get tested. The government also ramping up testing in COVID-19 hotspots, including areas around Toronto and around Windsor, Ontario. Officials are promising anyone who wants to get tested will not be turned away. A look at COVID-19 cases across Canada now. Quebec is nearing 48,000. Ontario now over 25,900. Only minor increases out west. Alberta with 6,879. BC at 2,530. In total, there have been just over 85,700 cases in Canada. Over 6,500 people have died and over 44,000 have fully recovered. The federal government is expected to update Canadians today on its scramble to procure personal protective equipment. With more people returning to work and concerns of a second wave, demand for PPE is increasing. Last week, the government reported that Canada had only received a fraction of its orders. Here's one example. Only 203 ventilators of more than 29,000 ordered had arrived. As various national parks across Canada prepare to welcome tourists again, the question remains, will enough visitors flock to these communities to help keep businesses afloat? Courtney Theriault has this story.
We're certainly not making any ends meet, but what else can we do, right?
And yeah, so streets usually packed.
All is quiet on Jasper's main street. The Alberta resort community has been a ghost town as officials encourage tourists to stay away during the pandemic. But that changes June 1st.
People are excited for it. It's what we know, right? We know being busy, and this is the time to go.
But for a community that relies heavily on tourism, more than 2 million people flock here annually. A slow summer 2020 could have dire consequences.
I'm going to dig myself a hole. And it's going to take me 3 years at least to get out of that hole to survive. And it's not because of the summer. It's because I need to get through the winter.
We've had huge success. We've had over 11,000 rooms booked in the last 7 days.
Room bookings offer up some optimism for Alberta and BC parks, with thousands reserving at Fairmont hotels. The chain opens to guests June 1st, welcoming back staff as well, and even hosting small weddings. But closed borders means a leaner pool of clients.
Our Canadian audience in the summer is about 40% of our entire business. So there's no reason to say it's going to grow from that.
Room discounts did play a part in luring those hesitant customers back, but officials expect to get through 2020, even as they predict it will be one of, if not the quietest year on record.
I hope that by the mid-2021, the airlines are back on their feet and the international travel is back where it used to be, and we can return to normal.
There's like 60 restaurants in Jasper, clearly not viable for 5,000 people.
Hey, look, there's a person. Hi, Rich, how are you?
So far, Kim Stark says she hasn't heard of any Jasper businesses shuttering their doors for good, but that may be contingent on tourists flocking to the park to scratch the isolation itch.
We need visitors to not be afraid and understand that there are rules and it's going to be different and service might not be as fast as it is and everybody's a little stressed, but come here and just chill.
In Edmonton, Courtney Theriault, City News.
Well, when was the last time you paid in cash? According to a new poll, only 3% of Canadians have decided to use physical money over the last month. Ashley Burr has this story.
$5.25, $5.50, $5.55. When was the last time you paid in cash? Well, it appears over the last few weeks, 97% of Canadians have opted for plastic over the green.
I thought we were going to see a jump on the credit cards, understandably, but I didn't think it was going to be that massive.
Over the last 4 weeks, half of all transactions in Canada have been paid for with a credit card and a third with a debit card. That according to a Glacier Media and Research Co. poll, in which 1,000 Canadians took part. To put things into perspective, when the same poll was conducted in February of last year, less than a quarter, just 24% of payments had been made with a credit card.
Really interesting in the sense of how we were paying for things back then. Roughly a third say that they buy things with a credit card, a third say that they buy them with a debit card, and a third say that they use cash. Not a lot of people using checks, not a lot of people using smartphones or e-transfers. And now that we ask within the scope of the COVID-19 pandemic, the numbers changed dramatically.
The new numbers found that in the last month, only 3% of Canadians used cash. Now, while the dethroning of the notion cash is king may not be surprising, some say the change can have negative consequences when it comes to local businesses.
So when someone pays with a credit card, the bank takes about 2 to 2.5% from every transaction. On top of that, you pay a monthly rental fee for the credit card terminal.
Alejandro Diaz owns the restaurant El Santo in New Westminster. And despite being closed for 12 weeks, they've still had a monthly bill from their credit card company.
We still have to pay that rental fee for the terminal, because if we don't do it, if someone wants to buy a gift card here or there, we don't have anything to process it.
Diaz also points out that when you tip a waiter or waitress on a credit card, it still takes a percentage out as a fee to the credit card company. Some owners like Diaz opt to pay back the tips to the staff out of their own wallet. It also may be preferable for customers to pay with cash because, as Credit Counseling Society's president and CEO Scott Hanna explains, when we pay out of our own wallet, we actually physically see ourselves spending the money.
You know, with a credit card or with an ATM card, there's no feeling of the fact that how much money have I spent? And for a lot of people, especially right now when we have a lot of people who are somewhat isolated, being shut in, and a lot of their entertainment is being done online, shopping online.
So the advice? Hannah says track your expenses, ask yourself if you really need to buy that stuff, and seek free counseling advice before you spiral deep into debt. In New Westminster, Ashley Burr, City News.
Scotiabank, in partnership with BT, is proud to present Operation Support Local, shining the light on local businesses during this difficult time.
Interesting stuff there.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I paid in cash. It's been a long time.
Every payday, I would always grab a bunch of cash so I would have that physical money in my wallet, but not these days. I'm holding off and going more with the card, and I have trouble keeping track of the funds. Let's put it that way.
That's true. Me too.
I like what Scott Hanna says. It's like the physical manifestation of your money in the wallet there, and you know how much you've got as you spend it, right?
I was always losing money when I paid cash, but speaking of spending money, let's support another local business.
You got it. Time for Operation Support Local, brought to us by Scotiabank, and today we are honoring a family-run brunch spot, a brand new one in Vancouver, simply called Brunch, and they've got Mexican-inspired flavors for breakfast, brunch, and lunch. They officially had planned to open on Saturday on the 30th, but they've been doing pickup and delivery since May 4th, so again, another local restaurant adjusting with these changing times, and they wanted to create a space where they could share love of food and service with the community. It's a warm, cozy, friendly spot, open 8 to 2 Monday to Sunday, again just right now for pickup and delivery, and the official opening for the restaurant was planned for May 30th. Again, that's on Saturday, but help support them with some delivery or pickup, and you can't go wrong with those beautiful brunch items. Woo!
Oh, I miss going out for brunch, Thor.
Oh, tell me about it. Some eggs Benny could go for right now. By the way, go to btvancouver.ca if you want to support a local business for Operation Support Local, and just click on the Support Local tab.
Love it. Okay, thank you so much, Thor.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. We'll have more BT coming up. Stay with us.